Let's go straight across into the dealing rooms and find out what the mood is like over there after the kind of mayhem that we've seen in our markets today. Amisha Vora, Joint Managing Director at Prabhudas Lilladher, joins us now all the way from the dealing rooms at Prabhudas Lilladher. And our colleague Nigel is in fact with her. So Nigel, take it away.
Hi guys, I think it's a lot more comfortable back there in the studios because you are feeling the tension around here. You know, a lot of phone calls coming in, a lot of orders being punched in. But Amisha, tell us, this morning there was a lot of fears that maybe we wake up on Monday morning and those margin call fears come back into the system. We see a lot of selling pressure. Mid caps and small caps, they seem to be replicating that.
I think so, because particularly mid-cap, small-cap, if you remember, just some time back, two headlines all the media was showing that some 300 scripts have hit 20% upper circuit, and probably we were at, so many scripts are at 52-week high. So they were in complete disconnect with what was happening, A, globally, and B, in the broader markets, rather in the Nifty stocks. So I think that a bit of overbuying, overeating, now that indigestion is showing in the systems, it seems.
All right, so that's about the indigestion, but what about the cleansing process? Do you expect us to continue? I mean, we've already seen a cut of from 7 to 10% the last week itself, small cap and mid cap. How much more low can we go? Do you think it's going to be a couple of days, or do you think it's going to be a couple of weeks that we're going to see this kind of selling pressure?
No, the aggressive selling pressure maybe for a couple of days or maybe a few more of them, but beyond that, the recovery will be pretty slower. That's what I feel. Probably the recovery will not be a very sharp recovery. And now people, after having seen particularly retail this kind of losses in their books, will take time to bounce back.
All right, let's talk about the headline index then. You know, today we're around that 7,400 mark. I remember post the election verdict, we were at these particular levels. Where exactly does Nifty make a base at? Is it at 13 times? Is it at 14 times? I think currently we're moving at roughly around 14.5, 15 times. So do you think 7,000, 6,900, what's the base for the Nifty?
So to me, it appears that 7,200 levels could be a very strong support. And because we also believe that a lot of global factors are definitely pointing at emerging market selling, emerging market growth completely slowing down, maybe impacting global markets, global market bonds having some issues because of the oil and commodity bonds within that, and so on and so forth. But there is no catastrophic event which has actually happened. We are all fearing something might just, happen. So I believe that 7,200, which is where we would be somewhere closer to, as per Bloomberg projections, 14 times 2017 earnings, could prove to be a reasonably good support. Even if it slips below that, I feel that probably it will bounce back to these levels pretty soon. In case in any major jolt, something like that happens. But otherwise, I think 7,200 should prove to be a very good support.
I think we would be at those levels if it wasn't for the DII buying. How big a factor has LIC been in these last few days? Do you think they are coming out and they are saving this market, or do you think they have to do more?
Right now, yes, LIC is been lending support, but probably I think their support is mediocre. It's not a very aggressive support, and probably something is being held back so that in case required, may come. But apart from that, I believe that up till now, the domestic, rest of the mutual funds have been pretty fortunate to continuously have those SIP inflows, which has been helping. And it will be very interesting to see how inflows are, behaving over next 2 months.
2 months, all right. And what about the bank Nifty? You know, at one point of time, you would say that ICICI Bank at 220, mouth-watering, maybe an SBI at around 190 odd. The bank Nifty seems to be seeing the intense selling pressure. At what kind of level do you think that becomes attractive? And would you go in for those private sector banks which have relatively done better? I'm talking about the HDFCs of the world, not an ICICI Bank. And what about PSU Bank? I remember 0.3, 0.4 times people say mouth-watering. What's your take?
I agree. Now the latest statistic shows that HDFC Bank's market cap is equal to entire PSU Pack's market cap, all top 16 PSU Pack's market cap. So yes, it is extremely pathetic situation. There's no doubt about it. And it may probably send a few alarming signals as to how to tackle this situation. and are there better ways to tackle the situation? Even to government circles, I would believe, because even if they want to recapitalize, if they recapitalize at these rates, PSU banks, they're gone forever, because the book value will just get impacted very badly.
Yeah.
So there will be, like I believe, SEBs are restructured, PSU bank, capital restructuring, something more needs to come apart from the provisioning part, whatever RBI and the kept on doing, giving 525 scheme, giving other schemes. But for recapitalization, there has to be very innovative way of recapitalizing PSU banks. That is number one. And I also feel that yes, there is good amount of provisioning which will come in this and next quarter, as Governor Rajan really feels that let's come out clean, so that at least the fear factor from investors reduces. Even if the numbers come, to a great extent at these prices, I do feel that markets have started anticipating and pricing it in.
Right.
So maybe some more broader policy announcement will be more useful to change the trend here.
All right.
Apart from, of course, whatever happens because of FI selling, because this has been the largest weightage in the Nifty.
All right, I think our anchors as well have a couple of questions. Sonia, Lata, over to you.
Thanks a lot for that, Nigel. Actually, you know, the global experts we spoke to today also are actually looking for the central bankers to give some succor. David Mann as well as Claudio Pyron were telling us that, you know, some statements from Janet Yellen or from Draghi, the central bankers indicating some kind of help for the market, stocking up or walking the talk will greatly help. So these are usually soothing statements that help at a time when the markets are selling off. But today, to be fair, the Sensex and the Nifty appear to be finding their feet. Amisha, you know, I agree that we're all looking at whether the SIPs will be rolled back by the small investor and that will create problems for the DIIs who have been the bulwark of the market. But what about HNIs? Are you getting regular phone calls from HNIs telling you to book profit or to even go short?
I think large part of HNI, MNI category clients typically don't go so much into mutual funds, but
I'm asking
being
you.
HNI, they feel they can probably act to the market smarter. And the way mid-cap, small-cap have reacted in last 1 week, 10 days, you know, suddenly when you lose 20-25%, the ability to book profit reduces substantially. Then you just manage the book in the sense, you know, which one you should sell to protect which position. I think they are more probably in that situation.
Okay, fair enough. Amisha, hi, this is Sonia here from the studio. You know, Nigel was discussing some of these banks and how they've reached very attractive levels. I had a similar question, but with regards to some of the other heavyweights, there are names like L&T that have corrected almost 20-30% this year. So many stocks from the pharma space, like Dr. Reddy's, have hit fresh lows. If you had to identify 4 or 5 large cap stocks that one should keep ready in their shopping basket, what would it be?
A very good question, but I would say that yes, some of the stocks are at 52-week low and continuously heading lower. Will that be the first to bounce back? Probably not. So if you say yes, from a very long-term investments perspective, which are the stocks, then some of these stocks and names may appear. But first, which will be the stocks to bounce back, then I don't think these 52-week lows kind of stocks could be the in the first shopping list. So I would still probably go by slightly safer bets, which could be Infosys, which we have been bullish for a while. And I think with the delivery of results, the confidence overall continuously increases. The second could still be, despite the yen issues and a little bit of cost pressure, the Maruti and the domestic consumption guy. And further, if you want to go, then it could be levers. So I would say that probably the order will be something like this.
All right, then. So that's word coming in from Amisha here. I tell you what, in the studio it's a lot more comfortable over here. You're really feeling that riveting anxiety, and in fact the phone calls just keep coming. Back to both of you all in the studio.
All right, Nigel, you have captured that very well with Amisha. Thank you very much.